Oh, damn it!
What happened?
Oh, I fell over something.
Where are you?
How the hell do I know? It's like the black hole of Calcutta.
Shall I send to St. Bernard?
I think I'm in a dressing room.
There's a light over this way.
Well, follow the gleam.
I found it!
Found what?
The gleam. I'm in a living room. It's straight out of Dracula.
Well, as long as there's electricity.
Oh, and there's the most marvelous little Chippendale chair. You know, it's just what we need. You know, the space and the...
Darling, I find it rather disconcerting you're more interested in Chippendale than your lost husband.
Stay where you are, darling. I'll flick on the lights.
Well, that shows a level head.
Nothing happened.
Just try talking, I'll find you.
What shall I say?
Ow!
Oh, you're getting closer.
I'll keep talking. Count.
Oh, dear. B3 to the N27 under the O64, which...
Bingo!
Darling, you made it! Oh, after all this time, you found me! Oh, my, but you've aged. Yes, silver threads and all
Well,
that.
don't give me any of your outdated dialogue, just an apology.
For what?
Not following my advice and waiting until the others got here.
It puts us a giant step ahead of everyone else to see the room first. Now, you sit over there and I'll find the lights.
I thought you said they didn't work.
There's always a master switch, one of those big, enormous levers.
You know, I wouldn't venture out there if I were you.
I'm perfectly all right. The light board is always near the stage somewhere. Ow!
Ha! Now we're even.
I hope you've kept up my Blue Cross.
Medicare takes you over in October.
Ha
My God, this is a dreary place.
It's supposed to be. Shh, here we are.
Find it?
There are banks of little switches. Ready?
Go ahead.
How's that?
Marvelous! If I were Laurence Olivier, I'd never forgive you. Try again.
This is number 5.
It's green! You've made me look like Lon Chaney.
Oh, here it is. It's a big lever. Here we go.
Oh. Ugh. Jessica, this is a dreadful room.
It's an exact reproduction, or so Mr. Summers says. Oh, you're right. I wouldn't be caught dead here.
Well, many have been.
That's good, Whitney. Your sense of humor is coming back.
Oh.
Now, what shall we do?
Silly girl. Have a martini.
What a whoopingly brilliant idea.
Oh, I thought you'd like it.
Here, let me just
Dreadful carpet.
hold these and this.
You know, it does sort of feel like a living room.
Yes, except the furniture's all
Well, it's depressing, but it's right for the set, I gather.
wrong. Oh, no, I mean it's placed wrong. It's all facing out there.
Well, it has to. That's where the audience is.
I know that. Oh, God, you are stupid. I mean, if this were a real living room, it would all be in clusters.
Oh, conversational units, as you call them?
That's right. All
Naturally. But if the furniture weren't facing the audience, they'd never see the actors' faces.
which would be better in some cases.
Oh, naturalistic theater, isn't it called?
Like that dreary little thing you saw off Broadway.
Well, parts of it were enjoyable. What shall we drink to?
The Project.
Good idea.
Here's to death, murder, mystery, and mayhem.
But with sophistication.
But with sophistication. Cheers.
Now everything is right with the world.
Indeed.
Oh.
Whitney!
Oh, don't do that!
I'm sorry, darling. I just suddenly thought of something chaotic. What
What?
happens if we don't like the others?
One can't like everybody.
We signed a contract!
It's good money.
Oh, you always have exactly the right phrase at the right time.
Look, even if we despise the others, it will be good to get back at work. Oh, me at the typewriter, you pacing back and forth, trading ideas.
Bickering is what you mean.
We don't really bicker, darling. Sometimes we just have slight disagreements.
Like that one time you wanted to really hatchet into that girl's back?
Oh, aren't you ever going to forget that?
Oh, it was such a bloody idea. Our readers would have closed the book then and there. From us, they expect pleasant murders, a simple poison, a quick shot in the dark, or even a stab in the back if it's genteel with a hat pin. But hatchets, really?
I was trying to change the pattern.
You don't change a pattern that pays off.
Paid off.
Paid off? But people still read our books.
In the dentist's office when they're finished with the National Geographic.
We have more than enough to be comfortable for the rest of our lives, and I don't regret one minute of it. But you're right, I am getting excited about working again.
It's time our style came back into vogue anyway.
We really brought murder to a new high, didn't we?
The highest.
We were like an art gallery. These new ones are like butcher shops.
I wish somebody else would come. I feel rather stupid sipping a martini in an empty sound studio.
It will soon be bustling with authors, don't you worry. Say, they certainly make these sets realistic, don't they?
Well, that's the point.
It's just canvas. I could swear it was real wall. And those ceilings, I suppose they're for acoustics.
Probably. Hello! See? No echo.
Hello?
My voice is changing.
Over here! Follow the gleam.
Be right with you. Oh, this is a gloomy vault, isn't it?
Just wait till you get where we are. It must be Mildred Maxwell.
I made it. Oh, those lights are bright, aren't they?
Just wait until you're in the right color. It'll take 10 years off of you.
Oh, nothing can do that short of trip to Lords. How do you do? I'm Mildred Z. Maxwell.
She's okay.
We've read everything you've ever written.
Why, thank you, dear. A few million more like you, and I wouldn't have to be here right now. You must be Mr. Summers.
Wrong!
I hate to be wrong.
I'm Whitney Olive, and this is my wife, Jessica.
Ah, I should have known the martinis.
Oh, would you like one?
Oh, never drink on the job, dear. Coagulates the mind. And can I just say, I have read everything you've ever written.
Well, now we're even.
But I had no idea you were so much like your books.
Oh, in what way?
Well, every one of your murders started out with a charming couple sipping martinis, and then things happened. It was like a trademark.
We have to maintain the image.
And besides, we happen to enjoy martinis.
So do I, but unfortunately, I never made a career out of it.
Unfortunate indeed.
So, where are the others?
Ugh, no one else has come yet.
Honestly now, what do you really think of this whole thing?
Well, it should be delightful fun, as long as we don't all end up fighting.
Every bee to its own bonnet, as I always say.
Oh, I wondered what you always said.
Ah, marvelous! You are just like your books. I wish I were. I try to be, but it never comes off somehow.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, every one of my books, the characters are so thoroughly organized, and the plots so spectacularly logical, but in reality I have trouble balancing my checkbooks. Never think it from my stories, would you?
Well, certainly not. Those murders are brilliantly plotted. There's something like a geometry problem. You know, many's the time I've said to Jess we could use some more of your ingenuity.
And many's the time I've wished for your comic flair for the urbane.
Oh, Whitney, this collaboration is going perfectly. We're getting along like a house of fire already.
Mutual respect, that's what all authors should have.
Especially mystery authors who are dated.
Nonsense! We're not dated. Your stories are still alive and thrilling as ever.
But we only hinted at sex and avoided violence whenever possible.
But my stories are timeless. The unusual, the murder, and the interviewing detective, and then call everybody together and give them the answer. That's the basis of all murder stories.
Well, not anymore, I'm afraid.
We'll come back, my dears. Just hold on to your typewriters, the pendulum is swinging. Even the sexy CIA agent and all his super weapons are out. I bet Brad Benedict hasn't sold 1,000 copies of his latest.
Definitely not.
I get my royalty statement next month, but I think you may be right.
Oh, there I go again, putting my foot in right to the knee.
How do you do? I'm Whitney
I know
Olive.
who you are. You're the Olives. I've always loved that name. Goes so well with martinis. And Miss Maxwell, a pleasure.
And you're Brad Benedict, the author who brought the transistor radio to this camera and this pencil to the cigarette lighter.
Yes, it was good while it lasted.
Well, we were just complimenting each other on our murders. Care to join?
Oh, am I expected to compliment my idols?
Oh, I like that!
Without you, stalwarts of the murder mystery, I would not have my short-lived career. I learned everything from you.
Why, that's a nice speech, dear. Come, sit and join us.
Oh, and have a martini.
Ooh, my pleasure. Just a handful, please.
Oh, don't underestimate my wife. Just another glass.
I always carry a spare for guests.
So, Jason Summers isn't here yet?
Oh no, just the three of us. One thing we've already decided. They might expect it, but we will not fight. We will collaborate peacefully and make a fortune.
I'm all for that.
Just to clear the air, dear, I must say, there's something about you I hate. Oh, it's not the modern style you use. I concede that since you have a dynamic flair, it's your name.
What's wrong with it?
It's the two B's. I hate authors who have alliterative names.
And what about yours?
I hate you, unfortunately.
Ah, but you switched yours around, Mildred. I read it somewhere.
That damn Reader's Digest!
You were born Zelda Mildred and changed it to be Mildred Z. Maxwell.
And besides, Brad Benedict is my real name. In fact, it's Bradley Bruce Benedict. You ready for that?
I concede.
Here's to you. Ah, good. You never get them dry enough these days.
A wit has the secret.
What? I pour the gin in the thermos and then close it up and whisper the word vermouth in the other room.
Oh, say, this is quite the rotten old room, isn't it?
My agent told me it's an exact replica of the one on the island. They're going to shoot the script here.
After we write it.
I do hope we all move quickly. I hate to belabor murder.
I once wrote one of my best-selling books, The Golden Mummy Case, in 6 days.
Ooh, you must have worked non-stop.
No, I was covered in hives and couldn't sleep.
There's no reason why we can't pop this thing out quickly. I gather they want each of us to have a little of our own thing in it, so it will appeal to everyone.
Some producer's smart idea.
We'll show them we're not through yet, my dears.
Show who? I think we're being stood up.
Someone should come soon. It's just Summers and Duckton left.
Say, whatever happened to Rodney Duck?
That sounds like a movie title. Whatever happened to Rodney Duckton?
No, really. I thought he died.
He's not dead. I read the obituary page every morning. What? It's a sign of age.
Now, he was an author who switched styles, all right. After all of those horror movie things, suddenly, in the 30s, he came up with Jack Club.
And made a mint, dear, with all those hard-hitting private eye stories. Probably retired to an island in the Caribbean somewhere.
I hope his house is nicer than this one.
The real this one, you mean?
She is getting cryptic.
One thing I'll say for Ducton's books is he always had a nice shock element in them.
I kept the readers awake.
You never knew when you were gonna come upon a body.
I didn't mean to scare you. I simply wanted to make an entrance, so I came round this way. Miss Maxwell, it is indeed a pleasure. I was just rereading you on the case of the black-eyed turtle, and I do admire your structure.
I wish someone admired my structure.
Oh, well, I do, dear.
Thank you, dear.
Mr. Duckton! After all these years, we finally meet. I am Whitney Olive, and this is my wife, Jessica.
Tremendous fans of yours, tremendous.
Oh, yes.
I see you already know Mildred.
Yes, I kept that cover story about her in Times. Of course, it was 20 years ago, and she's changed.
And when did you leave Shangri-La?
I detect a note of bitterness which is not apparent in your writings. And this is Brad Benedict.
How are you, sir?
A pity. What is it? You are me. Younger, of course. You took what I wrote in the 30s, added a few transistors, and got astoundingly good royalties for a time.
That time was a few years ago.
And so we're all going to be working together. I must say I'm looking forward to it. Trading ideas, plots. When do we start?
Well, as soon as Summers gets here. You know, the tide is starting to run low in my martini thermos.
Intriguing room, isn't it?
Dreary, I call it.
What I could have done with this in my horror days. Sliding panel here, groping hand there. A beautiful girl seated at the desk. She hears footsteps coming down the corridor. She turns, screams! But that doesn't scare anymore. A pity.
Your Jack Club would hit the monster with the butt of his gun.
Jack Club, another era. Warner Brothers made a good thing out of him, but who and what are current now?
Nothing, that's why we're here.
What do we do now?
If anyone else says that, I shall call a cab and go home.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jason Summers, the man who contacted your respected agent.
Jessica.
I purposely came a little late to let you all get acquainted. Clever idea, wasn't it? Or actually, the vice president in charge of news shows suggested it. I can't take all the credit, can I?
Oh, why not?
They'd find out. Jealousy, you know. Now shall we get started? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WMT Studios.
Who is he
It is
talking
our
to?
pleasure to invite you to join us in a short experimental evening in crime. Down through the ages, murder and mayhem have fascinated
Maybe
each
he's
and
psychotic.
every one of us.
You
So tonight, we
are.
have brought
Why
together
don't you
the
go in?
outstanding
Yes.
mystery writers of
Mr.
this.
Summers.
It is our idea to take
Mr.
these...
Summers.
Excuse me. Yes, Mr. Ducton.
We're all wondering one thing. Who the hell are you talking to?
To the audience.
What audience?
Out there. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Good God, he's right! There are people out there!
Mr. Summers, what is the meaning of this?
My God, is this a joke?
Didn't your agents tell you there would be an audience?
Well, certainly not, or I would have worn black tie.
Oh, perhaps it's an oversight on my part.
Oversight?
However, there's no harm done, is there? This is just an experiment, more of a game, really.
Murder is hardly a game. We've all made careers out of it.
Please sit down and let me explain.
I'm no good in front of audiences. People make me nervous.
I think we should all go home.
Wait, no, I'm fascinated. Let's hear him out.
They look like nice people, but there are so many.
Sorry about this delay, but authors are temperamental too, the same as actors or everyone else connected with the creative arts. As I was saying, look at these 5 people, ladies and gentlemen. What do you see? Genius, that's what you see. 5 brains which have been dedicated to murder.
That's what kept
WMT Studios has brought together, at great expense, these 5 minds to collaborate and become one, to bring you the great mystery series of all time, what we hope will be television's finest hour. Now, let me introduce them to you, the faces behind the book jackets, as it were.
Does he write his own material?
Jessica and Whitney Olive, authors of over 30 bestsellers, former joint presidents of the Crime Writers League, and darlings of international society. You may applaud if you wish. Mildred C. Maxwell, specialist in the surprise ending, the woman who has kept us up at night waiting for the final page of her latest mystery.
I'm constantly thinking of new ways to kill people.
Brad Benedict, the man who modernized the spy. His heroes are hard-hitting and perform with no holds barred, whether it's with the enemy or with a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
And finally, Rodney Dupton, the gentleman who terrified us when we were young with such monsters as the creeping fiend, the crawling hand, and the coolish girl, and who later went on to create the master private eye of the 30s, the one and only two-fisted and two-gunned Jack Clough.
It was nothing really, more an extension of myself. You see, when I was just a lad...
Mr. Ducton. No one needs to hear about the 1890s. Old spot, sit down.
It is my idea, or rather the idea of WMT Studios, to combine these talents, to put a little Maxwell here, a splash of Benedict there, a dose of Ducton, a few dashes of olives, and come up with a tossed salad of murder.
Block that metaphor.
This stage setting which you see before you is an exact reproduction of the living room of Vulture's vault.
Does everything have to be in alliterative?
From the time when Buccaneers sailed the Spanish Main, there's been a house on a small island off Jamaica which has been shrouded with mystery. That house is called Vulture's Vault. That famous pirate Redbeard, built it with slave labor, stored his riches there and died in the very room we have copied for you. During the 20s, Vulture's Vault was used as a storage depot for liquor being run illegally into the United States. Oh dear, I must have shuffled my cards wrong. Oh,
Seems less organized.
Unprofessional.
here we are. Sold in 1931 to Morgan Fitzbee, it is the island where the multi-millionaire recluse met his unfortunate end. A knife protruding from his back.
This dialogue is terrible.
Appalling.
Miss Maxwell, I am not a successful author like you. Your turn will come.
If he doesn't shut up soon, the audience will leave.
Hang on, it can't get much worse.
Oh, if there are any reviewers in the audience, that's what is known as a quotable.
As you can see, we are all very informal at tonight's gathering. Tonight, our authors will get acquainted with each other and their working methods. It will just be a little fun.
Oh, I hate games.
I rather fancy myself at cribbage.
Mr. Dutton.
Sorry.
Immediately following the show, our 5 authors will be flown to the Caribbean, where tomorrow they will travel by small boat to Vulture's Vault. There, ladies and gentlemen, they will create stories of suspense, intrigue, and murder, a series rival by none in the history of television. Oh dear, I rather expected a little applause there.
And another copywriter said we'll fall.
This series will be shot here on this very set with the leading actors of a bygone era. WMT is going to bring back stars who, along with these authors, you have almost forgotten. And the salaries you are being paid, and the fact that your combined sales within the past 2 years haven't equaled 1 month of the country's bestseller.
Is the thermos empty?
I can drink hemlock.
Jack Club would blast his way out of
I should
here.
have planted a honing device on him last week.
Now for a get acquainted game. The envelope, please.
Oh, this is too much.
Thank you. Inside here are 12 slips of paper. Each slip has 1 word on it. That word is the motive. There are such things as lust, greed, money, etc. I shall have you, Miss Maxwell, pick 1 paper.
I like password better.
Then you can toss the motive around until you come up with a plot. We shall watch your minds mesh together on your first collaboration. Isn't this exciting?
Are we allowed to answer?
No. Then with this and the publicity we shall get when you arrive at Vulture's Vault, the series will be pre-sold.
When do we start work?
The day after you arrive, after an early morning prep conference, you will be left completely alone to create.
Oh, wait a minute. Who creates in the kitchen? The only thing I know how to do properly is a quiche Lorraine.
Oh, what cheese do you use?
Is it Swiss or Gruyere?
Yeah.
Well, Gruyere, I thought it was just Swiss.
You will have the proper retinue of staff. Your only responsibility is to bring back 13 plots in 3 weeks. All right, Miss Maxwell, draw a motive.
This is deadlier than the draft lottery.
Read it, please.
Murder Jason Summers!
Goody.
Just trying for a little humor.
Someone's got to entertain these people.
It says jealousy.
Oh, that's as original as sin.
Perfect. Now I'll just disappear over here in the corner and you can start plotting.
No. But okay.
Well, I can't just sit here and think of a plot. I always do my best work in the early morning.
I have to slouch in my chair for weeks before I can come up with something workable.
If you all want to go out and get some concessions or something, we'll ring a bell when we think of a good jealousy plot.
I'm jealous of anyone who isn't here.
Oh, me too, darling.
I had a...
No, because... Wait,
No.
I have an old plot that's been kicking for some time. I'll give it to you and we can toss it around.
To the podium, Miss Maxwell, to share your idea.
Well, here goes. I hope none of you paid to get in here.
Oh, the press always gets passes.
Then they're getting their money's worth. Now, all I've plotted of this is the middle and the end. By the way, I hope you've all read my books. They're available in paperback, unless, of course, you prefer hardcover.
Oh, Miss
Then-
Maxwell, please, no commercials.
All right, dear. Well, here's my plot. We have the usual husband who's married a woman for her money. She should be rich, prominent, and a witch. Oh, Am I allowed to say words like that on here?
Censorship is at a new low. However, on the show, we would simply call her a bad woman.
All right. Well, this wife is a bad woman. She is tired of her husband and is about to divorce him, and he'll be left with nothing. So, naturally, this being a murder story, he decides to kill her.
Oh, but that happens every time.
Now, I know this all seems usual so far, but Mildred Z. Maxwell always has some surprises up her typewriter. Now, this husband. Oh, I've never been good at telling stories. I wish you all could see the characters just as I do.
Oh,
And
but they can, Miss Maxwell. Just use your imagination. Describe them, and we shall see them.
I'll try.
Is he crazy?
The husband plots out the murder most ingeniously. He has hired a third classmate or a third cousin or an old ne'er-do-well or someone like that and paid them to be an accomplice. Now, the husband, let's call him George, should be good-looking and dressed in a fine suit. Yes, perfect! That's George. His imagination just wonderful.
But the suit's an appallingly bad.
Darling, this is her story.
He is good-looking. Oh, and he's broken one of his arms. That is a most important plot point. Now, for the ne'er-do-well. He should be, of course, ne'er-do-well looking. Yes, perfect, that's him. George is just finishing plotting the murder. He says,
And that's all you have to do. Here's your plane ticket to Chicago made out under my name.
And you're sure nothing will go wrong?
I've worked out even the smallest detail.
I haven't yet, of course, but I shall.
You will wear a cast in a sling. This will make you immediately identifiable. You will board the 11 o'clock plane, slouch down in your seat and pretend to be asleep for all of it. No one will notice anything except the fact that you have a broken arm. Tomorrow when you land, there will be 80-some-odd people who will swear I was on flight 752 at the time of the murder.
Let's hope so.
It's foolproof. At 11:30, while you're somewhere between New York and Chicago, I shall get rid of Martha, and there's nothing that the authorities can prove. While I have the best motive, I was 30,000 feet in the air at the time it happened. A perfect alibi. At 12:30, I shall get on a plane under an assumed name to Chicago. There I will find the news that Martha's body has been found. I shall be properly shocked and attend the funeral like the dutiful husband I am, and inherit the estate, oh, so reluctantly. And there's nothing that Roger will be able to prove.
Roger's the new man.
Martha always has a new man, ready, willing, and younger.
And you're sure there's no way of connecting me to you?
How could they? As far as anyone knows, we haven't seen each other in 15 years.
Well, there is one thing you've overlooked.
That is,
The money.
it's all here.
I'll be thinking of you tonight at 11:30.
And I'll be thinking of the future.
Now, the climax scene I plotted at 11:30 that night. The wife, Martha, should be at home. She best be dressed in some sort of negligee. They always seem to be. And she should be pretty, but a trifle hard-looking. Yes, perfect. That's Martha. Perhaps she's on the phone with this Roger.
Yes, Roger, darling.
Stop! We need some music. Some sort of song to contradict with the atmosphere. Can I have a radio, please?
Anything you wish. Radio! Yes.
Oh, what a service. Thank you.
Welcome.
It should be playing music.
Right, Charlie, music.
Martha is on the phone.
He's gone. Just a quick divorce and we'll be together. No, he leaves on the 11 o'clock flight from Newark Airport. The poor thing won't be able to carry all his luggage with that broken arm. I'll have to tip a sky cap. That'll really hurt him. What? Mexico, I think divorce is overnight. Of course you can, Roger, darling. I wouldn't dream of going alone. First thing in the morning, Roger. Why not lunch at 1? Pick me up here. Till then. Yes, I am. Mwah. Hello? Is someone there? Who is it?
Hello, Martha.
what are you doing here? Did you get drunk and miss the plane?
I've never been more sober in my life.
I don't think I've ever seen you sober.
Take a good look.
You are sober. It's because you have to buy your own scotch now. Well, you can get out. I've had my last look at you.
How right you are.
Just what does that mean?
I'm going to kill you.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious, Martha. Do you really think I'd give up the job of being your husband without any sort of retirement plan?
You didn't retire. You were fired. Now get out. Go get on another plane.
But you see, Martha, I'm on one already. There's a plane flying over the country with a man dressed like me on it. I have any number of witnesses who will swear I was not here but there. It's all beautifully thought out.
You're bluffing. Now get out of here. I'll call the police.
You won't have time.
I know you too well. You might think of something like this, but you'll never have the guts to go through with it.
You're wrong, Martha.
Oh!
Leader of this program for a news bulletin. Amalgamated Airlines Flight 752 from Newark to Chicago has crashed outside of Cleveland, Ohio. There are no survivors.
Surprise ending. I'm famous for it. Shock it to him with the last line. Do I get some applause for that? Now, there are some details to work out. We have our jealousy, the husband jealous of Roger, and the money which should be rightfully George's. What do you think?
I think it's nice, but
What?
there's no one you really care about.
Yeah.
I never cared for anyone much in your books.
Oh, now, let's not get testy. I always had a sympathetic ingenue in there.
Sympathetic ingenue.
Perhaps they were nicer people. They met at a cocktail bar and there was some pleasant chit-chat and then
That's
things
not the way Mildred writes, Jess.
Well, we're collaborating, please.
What if we updated? What if George was working with the CIA and he knew that Roger was working for some foreign power? Then George can plant a honing device under Roger's lapel and he can listen in on any conversation he might have. Audiences love that sort of thing. And then he...
Yes,
oh,
thank
man.
you, thank you. What if we make it a really good horror story? They used to play well, maybe it's time for a comeback. If this were one of those silent movies I used to write, Miss Maxwell, I'll show you.
Monsters are out, Mr. Tufton, they really are.
My climactic scenes are classics. They don't make them that way anymore. Remember Frankenstein? Dracula? Well, I was way ahead of those boys. Lon Chaney and the Silence. That's when we really had terror. There was always a mad scientist. He was always jealous because the ingenue loved another. Now, the ingenue is this beautiful girl. Ah, magnificent. The mad scientist will plead once more for her hand in marriage. If refused, he will call in the monster he has created to kill her. You'll note she doesn't see the monster to the last possible moment. Suspense. Now for the mad scientist. In all modesty, I must say, I don't think I can conjure up as good a mad scientist as I myself would make.
Oh, Wit and I do that. We're always acting things out.
You know, I fancy myself the John Gielgud.
Really, I never know.
Please. And you must remember, I still think of these plots in terms of silent films and those wonderful title cards. Dialogue was so unimportant. Music created the atmosphere. Music! Huh? Ready? Action! camp.
Oh, you see what you did, don't you, Mr. Duckton?
Evidently not.
Well, to have the audience be frightened of that, you'd have to have the audience of that era. You're not that old, are you?
They have changed, haven't they?
But that's the issue. You changed too when you gave up horror and introduced Jack Club. That started the hard-hitting era of detectives.
Great era.
Oh, that would be parody now too.
You really think so?
Of course. I'll show you.
But I don't think I want you to.
Oh, but I enjoy it. You know, I've been quivering on the sideline waiting to get into the act. Now you go sit over there, and Jess and I will show you what your Jack Club would look like now.
Goody, I'm a marvelous actress.
Do you think that this will accomplish anything?
Give them a chance.
Oh, wait, can we do it alone?
We may have to call on a figment or two like the others. Now you play the usual girl, and I'll play Jack
Well,
Club.
ladies
All right?
and gentlemen, I feel I must apologize.
What for?
This isn't exactly what we planned on. This is more of a happening than a mystery seminar. You haven't collaborated yet.
Oh, sit down! You got us here, now let us do our job.
Oh, this isn't what I had in mind at all.
Jack Club's stories always started with the narration setting up the hard-hitting scene, as it were. It was a cold night, and the city was cold steel like every heart in it. It had been a tough night. My violence was my friend. My name is Jack Club. I started out the day with my usual day cap. Suddenly, I felt this tap knot in my gut. That was a sign this wasn't going to be an ordinary day. I waited. Then she came in. She came in.
Oh, sorry, darling, once again.
Then she came in. She was bad, all bad. Her lips formed a wicked smile. She was curvy and built like some Venus de Milo, but she had arms that held men, many men. I got up. She came at me like a bulldozer clearing a garbage dump. Her eyes searched me up and down like a Geiger counter. Then she spoke.
I'm in trouble, big trouble.
My name is Trouble.
Kiss me hard.
You're bad, all bad.
Oh, my husband is dead.
I'm falling for you, baby. I'm falling fast.
They think that I shot him.
Well, did you?
What do you think?
I think you're bad. All bad.
It was his stepdaughter, Stephanie. She's just my age. She shot me because he threatened to leave the money to me. Kiss me quick.
I've got it bad, baby.
You're tough, Jack Club. All tough.
Where was this broad, Stephanie?
Stephanie Maldor, that's me.
Oh.
She's rotten, all rotten.
But innocent. So innocent.
That woman killed my father.
It was you, all you.
Believe me, please believe me.
Oh, I do, baby.
But what of us? Our love, our desires.
It's no good, baby. It's over. All over.
But what was my mistake?
Putting your hand to my cheek. It's there. All there.
What is?
Powder burns from the gun you used to shoot your husband.
I'm sorry it had to end like this.
What?
Don't you hear me?
Oh, she's dead. All dead.
Forget about her, Jack Club. It's just
It's no good, baby. The memory of Stephanie Mildor would always haunt us. Give me that.
No!
Yes, sir. Bang.
I underestimated you, Jack Club. You're hard. Oh, hard.
Poor Stephanie. She was good. All good.
Jack, I love you. Let me go with a kiss.
What? Mwah.
Oh.
Mwah. It was another day. I'd found two loves and lost two loves. The sun set. The city was cold steel again, just like every heart in it. And my name is Jack Club.
You see what they've done, Mr. Dumpton? Everything they've done is a parody. We are anachronisms.
Perhaps. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Olive.
You're welcome.
Your performances were quite something.
I'm not quite sure I know where to take that.
Just take it and be quiet.
Okay.
I don't agree, however. I mean,
My style of writing is still current. Nothing's come along to replace it yet.
Oh, we can take that off too. Come on, Quinn, let's show him. I'm just getting warmed up.
No, this one is for me. I'll show what Mr. Benedict, what his mystery tales are like if he wants.
I'm not so sure I do want to.
But it's my turn to twist the knife, as it were. We'll take one of Mr. Benedict's famous CIA men. We'll just pick him up in one of your climactic scenes. Mr. Benedict, you act it out. Over here.
Oh, how will I know what to say?
Well, it's my version of your story, so you'll say what I'm thinking.
Okay. Here goes.
We find our hero about to stop the takeover of all Allied missile information by chaotic. Those are the bad men. The organization always has initials that spell out a name. You've noticed that, haven't you? Mr. Benedict's hero has also been looking for the super spy. Super spies always have catchy names, too. We'll call this one Silverleg. Now, all through the story, our hero has been having various affairs with various girls in various unusual places, like Turkish baths, cemeteries, the subway, but only the express line. We now find him in his beach house with his beautiful secretary.
There's something about you. 276390845. Something different.
My pajamas are custom made.
I so enjoyed this assignment. Working for you all day, all night, though.
And now the assignment has come to an end.
No! 276390845. I'm like contact paper. I'm gonna stick around.
But I found out who Silverleg is.
You couldn't have!
Yes, I could. I planted one of these. This is a honing device, and I've been listening in. This is a miniature broadcasting station, and I found out everything.
No!
Yes, I'm sorry, beauty, but I'm gonna have to turn you in.
Not yet.
No! Business before pleasure.
Wait. There's just one more thing I've got to know.
Which is?
Well, where did you plant the honing device?
There you are, Mr. Benedict.
Is that how my Bugsy?
Your detectives are just as ridiculous as mine if you present them that way.
Don't stop, please, Mr. Ducton. Go on.
But that's the end.
Well, where was the homing device planted?
Well, I haven't the faintest idea. I don't write those kind of stories.
Spoiled sport.
We seem to have lost our purpose. If we keep jabbing at one another, my dears, we'll never collaborate.
What we all need is a drink.
You've run out of your allotted time. The unions, the limousine will arrive in 20 minutes to take you to the airport.
This is rather stupid, don't you think? We're supposed to fly down there, spend the night in some dreary little hotel, then clamber into some leaky boat that will take us to an island where the house will look exactly like this set. Why don't we just stay here?
Exteriors. Although the action you write will mostly take place in this room each week, we want you to include some outside shots. Then there's the press. They will come on Friday morning and take pictures of you in the actual house. Feature stories, Publicity will make the show, not the script.
Oh.
I didn't mean to say that.
But you did say it.
I suggest we call this whole thing off and disband until the limousine arrives.
Well, frankly, I don't see that we're going to get any farther there than we have here.
I agree.
Maybe we will if we stop making fun of each other's styles.
Well, maybe
We each have something individual to contribute.
Exactly right, young man. Now, why don't we all go get that drink?
There's a rather festive-looking lounge across the street.
Sounds
Same limousine, Summers.
In 20 minutes, I shall fly down with you, then go straight to Vulture's Vault tonight to make preparations. You wouldn't dream of asking you to take the launch tonight.
Well, thank goodness I get seasick enough in the daytime.
No, wait a minute. Thank the audience
For what, darling?
for coming.
We didn't invite them. Thank you anyway.
Oh, same here.
They've been remarkably quiet. I should think they've been bored to death.
Oh, I think they are.
I just felt embarrassed.
The next scene takes place at Vulture's Vault, and I'm sure you'll find it more entertaining. It's got to be. I really do apologize on behalf of WMT Studios, but least you got a chance to see how these series start out. Oh dear, I really don't know what else to say. Perhaps we better have the curtain now. Oh dear, I hope the stage manager hasn't left. Curtain! Oh, thank goodness.
I was calling you, Jane.
I heard you, that's why I'm here.
I saw the launch on the horizon. It will be here in 3 minutes.
Oh, dear.
What's bothering you?
The dinner, the recipe Mr. Summers gave me is rather fussy.
I'm sure it will be as delightful as you are, my dear.
Thank you, but I'm not used to the gas stoves. All the families I worked for on the mainland had electric.
I have confidence in you, Jane, as does Mr. Summers.
How do you know what he does if you never saw him till last night?
I have my ways of knowing.
If you ask me, Mr. Summers is going to have a nervous breakdown before this is over.
I know. I heard him pacing the floor of his bedroom all night.
When I went in there this morning, his bed hadn't been slept in.
Have you seen him today?
Haven't laid eyes on him. He usually doesn't go for breakfast, but he didn't take lunch either. Not more than a cup of coffee. It makes me nervous.
Peculiar. Most peculiar. Perhaps he's waiting at the dock for the lunch. You had better go and check.
Oh, but my dinner's in the oven.
There will undoubtedly be a long cocktail hour after. Go to the dock, Jane.
But my roast!
To the dock.
I don't like going down that steep path.
You are perfectly safe. It's daylight. Now.
I wouldn't go there at night. The dark makes me nervous. I've always been scared of it.
Jane, go now.
Yes, sir.
You're not supposed to be here. The authors are arriving to fulfill their commitment, but they don't know what they've committed themselves to. It is for them to find out alone now. You disappear now. Good. We are alone now.
I must say, the outside looks like forest lawn.
I hope it has a bar.
Oh, me
Are you
too.
quite all right, Mildred?
Just queasy from the boat trip.
Something I've never been bothered with. A weak stomach.
Well, bully for you.
In my books, they would have flown us here in a helicopter.
Oh, Brad, enough with your helicopters and your stupid comments. Mr. Summers was right. It is exactly the same.
Exactly.
Amazing what set designers do, isn't it?
This is real, all right. No Candace.
I can create here. I feel it in my bones. This just calls for a corpse to be sprawled on it.
I go for a Danish modern myself. Ooh, this sofa's early Salvation Army.
It's a commanding view, all right. I like it here. I fit right in.
I wouldn't brag. Whitney, look! It's exactly what your Aunt Jenny got us for a wedding present.
Oh.
You know that there were two of them.
You know, I'm rather concerned about the reception we got. That lovely child met us and then scampered off to the back door. Where is everybody?
That was odd.
You must be Gregory.
Oh, that is correct.
Mr. Summers told us you'd be here. I'm Brad Bannigan.
I know who you are. I know who you all are.
You know who you are, so Raven.
What are your wishes?
Isn't it cocktail time?
If you wish it to be,
I wish it to be desperately.
then I shall prepare.
You all right, Whitney? I know.
Rodney was coming towards you. Rodney was gonna eat you. Rodney, no!
You will pardon me.
Oh, that's a creepy one, isn't it?
The odd servant, standard of my earlier works. He's so beautifully nebulous.
Are we supposed to work with that looking down at us?
I believe that's a rather excellent painting.
You can tell by scratching with a fingernail.
Oh, I don't think Mr. Summers would approve.
Oh, it's very barren here. I always thought the tropics were lush with lots of vegetation and
You didn't write Craig, did you?
No, darling, that was Somerset Maugham.
There's nothing but typing paper here.
What did you expect, dear? Will to be read at midnight?
Well, I thought Mr. Summers might leave us a note or something.
Strange, he didn't mean us to die.
Exactly.
If he's changing into black tie, I shall spit.
Oh, you'll be just
He's gotta
fine
be
with
around
me.
here somewhere.
Yes, but where?
Oh, here he is. Oh,
Is he?
he's dead.
A knife in the back? Darling. A real murder.
Out of a closet, too? It's too perfect to believe.
What shall we do?
Call everybody together and expose the murderer.
Who is it?
I haven't got that far.
Oh dear,
Oh, what's wrong?
I've never seen a real dead body before. Is that what they look like?
Well, evidently.
Well, no. One thing is certain.
What?
We have the beginning of our plot. Now all we have to do is to solve it.
Excuse me, please, but I do believe that I am going...
Rod.
No, Jack,
Is he okay?
no, please.
Vampire!
Try to drink this brandy, please. It's a stimulant.
I know that. I've written these scenes to you know.
Have we come into focus yet?
I can see you both quite plainly now.
That's a good sign.
This is the first time I've ever fainted.
Have some more.
What did it feel like, Rodney? In my books, I always describe it as the hero feels the room spinning round and round, and then they fall into a dark tunnel.
Well, you're wrong. I felt sick and then woke up on the floor.
Disappointing indeed.
5-star, another brandy, Gregory.
Yes, madame.
Shall we try sitting up now?
Just like all nurses, I'm a me, not a we. You are not sick and I shall try sitting up now.
You're just cranky because you're embarrassed.
Where's Whitney? And that Benedict fellow.
They've taken oh, sorry, that was a lot. They've taken poor Mr. Summers upstairs. It appears the East Room has a delightful view of the ocean.
Does it have twin beds, dear?
Why do you plan on moving in?
There's bound to be another one, you know.
Another murder?
Have you ever written a murder with only one corpse?
Oh, you're right. There's one at the beginning to get the reader's attention, and then another towards the end.
Quickly, Gregory.
Yes, madame.
Up you get, Rodney. We can't sit here all day. There's work to be done.
Silly of me, I do apologize, but the sight of that knife sticking out of Summer's back.
Poppycock! You've used knives dozens of times in your books.
One thing to describe a knife protruding between shoulder blades and blood running down its suit. When you actually...
Oh, easy on, Rodney. Think of something pleasant.
Think of the money you're making.
I'm thinking.
Oh, where's the brandy? There's bound to be brandy, there always is.
5-star, darling. Gregory.
Yes, madame.
Oh, Summers is lying there peacefully. It looks exactly as if he... Oh, for God's sake.
What?
I was going to say, it looks exactly as if he were asleep. I stopped writing lines like that at NYU.
Now, carrying him upstairs was very interesting.
I couldn't be more pleased.
Seriously, I always have characters whipping bodies around as if they're toothpicks, but he was damn heavy.
Perhaps you're not very strong.
I tell you, he was a dead weight.
This is no time for levity. Drink that.
Thank you, Gregory.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, darling.
He's really dead, isn't he?
You would know if you carried him upstairs instead of fainting.
Oh, I'm sorry I was unable to help.
Oh, it's okay. I'm younger than you are.
I don't think it's necessary to point that out.
I don't think it is.
You removed the knife, of course.
Yes.
Oh, I'll never forget it. It was like taking a knife out of a bunch of cheese.
Oh, Camembert.
More like camembert, I think. It just sort of slid out.
That's going to be something.
It is something already.
I'm talking about our next books. I can't wait for the viewers to notice we've all used the same line. The knife I slid from the back like it was sliding from a wedge of Camembert cheese.
Excuse me, but what should I do about dinner?
Well, what did you have in mind?
Serve it or freeze it.
Oh, freeze, please.
You're not in the frame of mind to eat right now, are you?
No.
I was kind of hungry.
I mean, as long as there's like, if there's wine.
Oh,
Or
Jessica,
if there's
you
more,
don't live on Almond.
Oh, yes, you can.
No,
Yes, you can.
okay. Maybe some
Isn't
salad.
anyone going to do anything?
No need to be so shrill.
Do anything about what, dear?
Mr. Summers!
You don't.
He's in the east room overlooking the ocean.
But he's dead!
We know that.
Murdered! Are you all just gonna sit there?
Jane, you must control yourself.
Oh, very good, Gregory. When the ingenue bursts into hysteria, someone always says you must control yourself. Do you right?
No, Miss Maxwell.
Excuse me, but you're all just sitting there doing nothing! Shouldn't someone call the police?
Is she serious?
Impossible, isn't it?
Out of the question.
Oh, you're very naive, Jane, is it?
Yes, but what's naive about calling the police? Isn't that what they're there for?
We can't call them.
Why not?
Naturally, the phone is dead.
You've tried it?
We don't have to.
What do you mean?
Shall we explain to her?
It's very simple, Jane. You see, we, the 5 great mystery authors of all time, are brought here. We walk through the door, a body flops from the closet. Do you really expect that we'll be able to just phone the police on the mainland? Of course the phone is dead. It has to be.
But this isn't a story, this is real!
We're all aware of that. We're also aware the phone is dead as a doornail.
I don't believe you. You're all crazy. I'll try it.
Cheryl, no, you're so rare. A little aggressive,
Oh,
isn't she?
let's see it.
Hello? Hello? The phone's dead.
Now that we've wasted 10 lines of dialogue, what shall we do? Any suggestions?
I don't suppose any of you have a pencil radio.
I don't even have a pencil.
Well, in my books, we would just take out a pencil, raise the antenna, and talk to the CIA or someone like that.
And perhaps that's why your books don't sell very well.
They did a hell of a lot better than yours did last year.
Oh, I'll have you know that
Oh, you and your simple murder. Oh, we're so
Please! We all must not bicker. We have respect for one another, remember?
Yes. I'm sorry, Miss Maxwell. I've always bowed to your plot lines.
Thank you.
And
I've always thought that your ingenious devices were marvelous.
Thank you.
Fantasies, but marvelous.
They do have pencil radios, you
Oh,
know.
but using all those gadgets
come
is cheating.
on. Like a little poison is going to do anything.
now that we have ascertained none of us have a pencil radio, or a ray gun, or a laser beam, and that Mr. Benedict won't self-destruct in 5 seconds, what shall we do now?
Drink?
Marvelous idea.
You two certainly stay in character.
We tried to.
Well, then I suggest we get some food before you get the latte.
No, that sounds a trifle.
I agree wholeheartedly. Jane, dear, would you make us some small sandwiches? I'm sure there's something back there to slap between 2 pieces of bread.
Yes, Miss. Oh, I hope she doesn't try slapping caviar. Sounds rather mushy.
I think this kitchen is definitely salami.
Don't suppose they have any cottage cheese.
Oh, Rodney.
Jack Club would eat a raw steak after he took off his eye.
Now about those cocktails.
I shall prepare some cocktails if you wish.
Would do all butlers eavesdrop Gregory?
In your books, madame.
Oh, touche.
Martinis?
Oh, perfect! I have a bottle of Bombay gin. It's in the initial case with my luggage.
I've already brought in all the bags and have taken the liberty of placing the Bombay gin in the pantry. We only have Gilby's.
Oh, Gregory, you are a true gentleman's gentleman.
Thank you, sir.
Well, now that we've taken care of the nourishment situation, what next?
Someone must be in charge to discover clues and ask questions.
Correct.
Yes, but which of us?
Oh, well, Wint and I are a team, so we're out. Oh, no!
What about you, Rodney? Well, take it in order of seniority.
I wish you wouldn't keep harping on age. I was referring to experience. In that case, I believe Miss Maxwell is somewhat
What
older.
was that, dear?
Well, according to Mystery Writers Who's Who, you predate me by 3 months.
That is simply because when my first book came out, I said I was 20, even though I was 18 to make me seem more mature.
Well, then it's settled. Rodney, you have the floor.
I always thought that was so stupid. You have the floor. What are you supposed to do with it? Polish it?
Mrs. Olive, there is a time and a place for your celebrated wit, and this is neither the time nor the place. I must have a moment to think.
Plunge ahead. That's my motto. If you spend all day sitting at the typewriter staring out the window, you'll get nothing done. I draw the lines.
Quiet, please. I wish to assess all that has happened and then begin the questioning. Obviously, none of us did it. That means it is either Gregory or Jane. She is too young and naive to be true, and he is definitely an odd servant. Odd servants are very often murderers. I'm something of a genius mystery writer, and I've never fooled myself. There it is. It's a fact. I am a genius. I created Jack Clubb. If I simply act the way he would act, then all of this will be solved promptly. He would know there's something rotten about those 2 servants. Too hard to get domestics these days to have 2 of them just sitting around on that island. The thing to do is eavesdrop and find out what they know, if I could only get them alone. Well, good, I've gotten rid of the others. Now to get the odd servant and naive girl in here. Here they come. Nothing beats imagination for getting things done quickly. Now, I'll simply slip behind here. Remember, Rodney, you're tough. Like Jack Clubb. Tough as nails.
You check over there.
How
Good.
much time we got?
They took a powder. I can signal now.
Oh, you're a genius, Gregory.
I am the boss.
Was it tough rubbing out Summers?
Nah, just like sticking a knife in a wedge of camembert cheese.
You're gonna give it to the others?
If they get in the way, we'll sink them in the ocean and cement galoshes.
Let's do it anyway, just for practice.
Get the ice first, and we'll have fun afterwards.
500 clams of uncut diamonds, emeralds, and rubies just sitting out there in a dinghy.
The biggest heist in history. They reckon the crown jewels couldn't be stolen. They figured that out without the boss.
But you blew it.
What do you mean by that?
Ow, you're hurting me.
You only hurt the ones you love.
Ace is with me. Mwah.
How'd I blow it?
Them right people coming up here, you didn't figure that?
No sweat. Summers came first and got the camembert cheese treatment. Now, I'll signal from the tower. The boat comes in, delivers the diamonds. The copter is due at midnight, and then we'll be off, hun. Anywhere's you like. Rio, Capri, Detroit.
That's it, one more big heist in an easy street.
30 minutes, they'll be in my midst. The jewels.
I love the way you say that word. Jules.
Jewels. Oh, hang loose, hun. And remember, you're mine. All mine.
That dumb cluck. Little does he know once he gets them. It's curtains for the boss. That's right. Curtains.
Hi, baby.
Who are you?
They call me Jack Clubb. There.
Jack Clubb, the private eye.
You tagged me, baby.
Oh, there ain't a hood in this underworld whose chin you ain't scarred and a hood dames whose lips you ain't blistered.
So they tell me.
How'd you get here?
Swear.
Oh, you're tough, Jack Clubb. All tough.
So they tell me. Now let's level. Them jewels getting here in 30 minutes.
You heard?
I clean my ears, the barrel of my 22.
What are you gonna do?
Them jewels go back to the Queen of Alanya. As for you, baby,
Yes.
you go off with me. You're about to get blistered. Probably have unguentine in your lipstick.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Kissing you, baby, kissing you hard.
Well, just lay off.
You didn't like it?
I just as soon kiss a dried sponge.
That's not what you're supposed to say. This whole thing is going wrong.
The boss and I get the jewels, and you get a ship in the back, the same as Jason Summers.
Lured him to his death, eh? I can see it now. He'd step towards you, pucker up, then Gregory knifing him.
Smart, ain't you? I can't resist you.
Too smart to fall for that line, baby.
Oh, you wouldn't kiss me even if I begged you.
not after bit off the dried sponge.
Oh, come on, I was only fooling. I like antics.
Well, since you can't resist, maybe one little smacker, dismember and stir.
Yeah!
Ow! That hurts!
It's supposed to!
Oh, that
Doesn't he fall
really
down?
hurts!
He's got a head like a pair of cement galoshes!
I had no idea it hurt this much. Whenever I have my characters get hit on the head, they shake it off and go into a fist fight. But this really hurts.
What is going on down here? Who is yelling like that?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Alt. An intruder. I had to resort to violence.
Who are you?
Jessica, please.
Oh my god, it's Jack Cloud. Thank goodness I have a good tea in my lipstick.
He's the murderer. There, Gregory. And she's his accomplice. And my head hurts.
The servants? No, Mr. Club, the servants never do it anymore. That's passe.
See for yourself, I'll prove it to you. Get over there. This is it, Jane. The showdown. You take him and Jules. Or me. Jack Club. And no Jules. No woman can resist me, though. I'm tough. Oh, tough.
What do you say, baby?
She has no choice. Buddy!
Give me that! Here's my answer! Oh, man!
I'm shot. I'm actually shot. And it hurts. It's not at all like I thought it would be. I always write, hot lead ripped through his shoulder. But this is worse than that. It just plain hurts. How can I expect my characters to carry on after something like this? They ought to go to the hospital for weeks, then get workman's compensation. I never thought it would be like this, but I suppose it must be. I always thought of myself as a realistic author. But all this head hitting and getting shot twice in the same book is no easy matter at all. No, I'm definitely not for reality. And now that I'm faced with a real murder, there's only one thing for me to do. And that's to shut up.
How much longer do we have to wait here and for you to assess all that has happened?
I have come to a conclusion.
Oh, perfect.
And that is to say that I have nothing at all to say except that the butler did it.
Oh, Rob.
Gregory? That's too obvious, old man.
Oh, don't call me old man.
Oh, I wasn't referring to your age. It was a term of endearment. Don't be so sensitive.
You know, in my books, they didn't have any butlers. That was from a different era.
Mark my words, the butler did it.
Cocktails already?
Yes!
It appears all he did was to make drinks.
Well, I wouldn't drink one of those.
I would add pickle.
Better have him take a swallow first.
Oh, nonsense. You've got a Roman emperor complex.
Though, Rodney may have a point.
Gregory, would you mind?
Not at all, sir. I don't like to drink on duty, but since you have requested it.
Not too dry?
Perfection, sir.
Well, are you satisfied, Rodney?
Perhaps it's a slow-acting poison. Give it a minute.
Oh, you'd hear a sort of gurgling gasp, wouldn't you?
Gurgling gasp. Alliteration, I think.
Thank you.
What do you suppose a gurgling gasp sounds
Oh,
like?
sort of like a little...
Something exactly like that,
Oh
I
my
should imagine.
god!
Anyone want to take a look?
Oh, I'm not budging from this spot. I don't react well to dead bodies.
Whitney, go see if Gregory's tossed us.
Well,
Or some coin.
Can I spill this tray of martinis?
I'll do it. At least I have a strong stomach.
If the butler's passed over, Rodney, doesn't that kind of knock your theory into a cocktat?
Perhaps he drank the martini, knowing it was poison, but realizing he'd been caught.
Twaddle.
Oh, I love bad language.
I wish he'd hurry up. I'm dying for one of these. But not if they're lethal.
He's dead, all right.
Oh, well, now things are bustling. 2 down and 5 to go.
Poor guy looks terrible. Oh, twisted up like a pretzel. Oh.
Whenever I had someone poisoned, I'd say he grasped his throat and fell over dead.
Must have been agonizing.
Just
Take a look.
Oh, he'd better not. I'm running low on brandy.
Just smell this glass you drank out of.
If the murderer had any sense at all, he'd use odorless. That's what I always use.
Oh, it's worse than moonshine. I'll put that away.
Now smell the others.
What will that hurt?
Whether just one martini was poisoned or all of them.
Plan on drinking them.
If they're not poisoned.
They smell alright.
Good, then we can drink them.
Have you no sympathy at all?
No.
First Summers and now Gregory dead?
Oh, it's the past, old boy. It's the future I'm looking forward to, and I can see a drink in mine.
Cheers.
Cheers.
But if only one of the drinks was poisoned, the murderer mustn't have cared who got the drink. He mustn't have cared who drank it.
Could be one of us. We were here the whole time. We're all suspect. Have we been keeping a sharp eye on each other?
Of course.
Wrong! When we carried poor Summers upstairs, Brad and I washed up afterwards.
Oh.
Separately, of course.
Separately, yeah, we were not.
Jess rushed out to get the brandy when Rodney collapsed, and Mildred went to the ladies while we were waiting for Rodney to take over the questioning. There we are.
Obviously, I am exonerated.
Nope, you were hovering by the tray when Gregory brought it in. You could have slipped something in it.
For that matter, so were you.
Now that you bring it up, yes.
So, any one of us could have either slipped something in the drink, or perhaps the glass before it was mixed.
Well, isn't it marvelous? We're all still in the running.
Did you expect anything less, dear? It's too soon to find out the guilty party.
Well, what about the maid?
Oh, Jane, hadn't we better tell her?
She'll find out.
Oh!
Exactly like that, I imagine. She was bound to stumble over him sooner or later.
Help! Something terrible
Has happened.
That's a trite line, dear.
We all know Gregory is dead.
He's just lying there in the pantry! Oh, and you're properly hysterical, good girl. Come and I'll make you some tea. Mr. Summers! Oh, no, get your son up, dear. You do that. Carry it on, I'll be right back. Good, now, pick up your feet. You stumbled over him once already. Good, take a giant step.
Mildred's quite calm about this, isn't she?
Don't start pitting us against each other. There's always such boring scenes.
Well, if somebody's out there, we should go out and find him.
Or her. Always say him or her. Never narrow down the field until you're certain.
Let's search the island.
Useless.
No.
Why?
It always is. If you'd paid attention to the older genre of mysteries, like Mildred's and mine, then you would know that we are alone here.
But hadn't we better make sure?
I suppose you're right.
We'll all go off in different directions and scour the place.
It won't take long.
I'll go that way. You go that way. Ronnie, you can take the north, and Jess, you can go upstairs.
Oh, good. I didn't want to scrape my heels on the rocks. These are Art Miller's shoes.
Don't.
Ready? Go!
Stop! Where are you going?
This young fellow thinks we should search the island.
Waste of time. Naturally, we're all alone here.
I know that. The Olives know that. Obviously, you know that. But he doesn't know it.
Then we'll prove it to him. Where do I go?
You take the wine cellar.
Ooh, I'll trade you.
With me.
I'm giving out the assignments. Ready? Go!
Which way is north again?
That way!
Oh, I wish someone would move this body.
Come back here like a homing pigeon.
All this searching business is ridiculous, but we do have to humor the younger generation.
That's a really well-mixed martini. Well, too bad he died.
Oh, I feel terribly guilty.
Well, look here, you didn't do it, did you?
Of course not, but here we are, up to our collective necks in 2 murders, and I'm not as nervous as I should be.
Oh, that's because we're used to it.
Only in an imaginary sort of way.
This whole thing doesn't feel real somehow.
Why don't we just solve it and get on with our writing? We're never gonna meet, any deadlines with bodies lying around the corridors not knowing who did it.
Do you suppose we could solve it?
Of course, darling. We've solved every murder we've ever been involved with.
Because we decided who the murderer was before the crime was committed. We're not working backwards this time.
It might be fun, starting from the top. Now, no, it isn't any of us. I mean, a mystery writer committing murder. That would be dirty fool, wouldn't it?
Dishonorable discharge from the Mystery Writers Guild.
Do you remember the case of the two-legged secretary?
Intimately.
It was your idea to have the pretty girl the murderess, and it went into second printing 2 weeks after publication.
You're right.
I usually am.
Well, conceded too.
Now, what would we have Jane do if we were writing it?
Oh, we could have her discovered committing another murder.
No, we'd have her make some idiotic slip, and then the beautiful, brilliant wife part that they created after me would say something like, "Aha, you slipped up that time."
I'd rewrite that line, but go on.
Now all we have to do is to get Jane to make some stupid mistake.
But how?
Well, you're writing half of this. Give me some help.
I'm trying.
Oh, here she comes. Be nonchalant.
You look so nonchalant.
Thank you, darling.
I wish I could be that calm, but every time I come out of the pantry, I have to step over Gregory.
You are indeed working under a great handicap, but these sandwiches do look delicious.
Salami?
Salami!
Where's everyone else?
I'm searching the aisle.
Oh, they will not find anyone on Vulture's vault. Gregory and I were here for 2 days and we didn't see a sign of a soul.
You were here alone?
Together.
Yes.
Were you lovers?
Of course not! What a thing to say!
You're letting your imagination run away with you? How well did you know Gregory?
Oh, well, we never met until we came to launch to come here. You see, I was out of a job because I'd fallen ill. Up until last January, I worked with a Mrs. Plato Onterdonk.
We've never met her.
Oh, a truly kind woman. She paid for all my hospital bills.
Oh, did she take you between houses, New York and Newport?
Oh, yes, indeed.
And out on her yacht?
Oh, yes! You slipped up that time! Oh, no.
I said I was going to rewrite
Don't
that
you
line.
see it?
What?
Mrs. Plato Onterdonk doesn't own a yacht. She gets seasick in her own bathtub. That was your mistake, Jane. You revealed your true self.
Oh, right, I did it! I killed them both!
Thank you.
You did it, darling. You're a marvel.
Thank you, darling. I know.
What's the matter with her?
Well, we've stopped imagining her writing this, so she must have stopped too.
We're just going to leave her like that?
Well, it's the end of the story. Close the book.
But this isn't what would happen if she really did commit 2 murders.
Probably not.
Jess!
Oh, the hell with it.
Jess, she would do something desperate. Wouldn't she?
Oh, you?
Oh.
Damn right she would!
No, I don't like this at all.
Of course I'll do something desperate, you stupid fools! I'll kill you both!
Oh, you mustn't kill the actor, so it's like shooting the hypnotized you.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Oh, no.
You first, Mr. Olive! If you have anything left to say it fast!
Could I have another martini?
Here it comes!
Stop it! None of it! I am ready to have this, and I say, stop it! Oh, that's better when you come over here. What went wrong?
Well, we finished the story all right, but there were a few extra pages.
Do you suppose that would happen in all books if it were real?
Probably.
I have definitely decided I don't approve of or take any delight in rumors at all.
Well, let's go back to drinking our martinis and shut up.
Oh, sorry, darling. Good idea. Well, I was right about one thing.
Well, I'd like to know what.
The murderer must be Jane. There's no one else it could be.
That's too obvious. There's got to be a plot twist somewhere.
Stupid waste of time. It doesn't be found out there, not even a decent rock formation.
Oh, never mind, Rodney. We made the impetuous young author happy.
Merry Christmas!
Calendar watch must have stopped.
Guess what I found in the wine cellar?
What?
Wow!
Wow!
Thank God!
That's hardly surprising.
This was older than your original horror.
And much more delicious. Don't just stand there, Mildred. Open it up and we'll have a toast.
To anything in particular?
To our partnership. It appears we've made 2 marvelous plot points already.
You're rather cold-blooded, you know. I suppose you'd like us to bury them both together with a double tombstone reading, "Here lies 2 plot points."
It's not a bad idea.
Anyone find anything?
Oh, Mildred found a marvelous begin. Back to the big line. So funny. I cracked myself up. I don't know what to say. It's just so funny.
I feel I must apologize to you all. That you were right.
Now, if we'll all listen to me for a moment, please. I suggest we call Jane in and give her the 3rd degree. You know, under a bare bowl, chewing gum and cracking nuts.
Because if it isn't Jane, it's one of us.
Impossible.
Rodney, you have been consistently wrong ever since this evening has started.
You think it's one of us?
It has to be. I just saw Jane with her head sticking in the oven and the gas turned on.
Dead.
Well, she wasn't baking an apricot upside down, Kate.
Good God.
That's a stupid line, Brad. Say something more
Did you
pertinent.
turn off the gas?
Now that's pertinent.
It seems to me it's time we've solved these murders before we all end up dead. That's what always happens in those books by that woman, Agatha
Christie.
Yes, that's her. Why don't we take her original theories and go from there? The guilty party is always the least likely one. And who's that? Why, the one that's done away first. He's only pretending, of course.
That old hat. It's been done to death. I even saw it used in a play. Any Number Can Die by Fred
Oh, it
Carmichael.
was terrible.
I never heard of it.
Besides, that theory doesn't hold water. Summers is dead, all right. Wood and I carried him upstairs. We know.
Agreed.
So much for Agatha Christie.
Christy, darling, Christy.
She'll never last.
Of course, it could be one of us.
How?
All of us spent the night on that dreary little hotel on the mainland. Any of us could have rented or stolen a launch, putt-putted back here, killed Summers, gone back again before breakfast. A shot of urine in the eyes, and who would have known?
True.
Except for Whit and me, of course. We're married and sleep together, as unusual as that is these days.
But neither one of us could have given the other a sleeping pill and done.
You and your big
Now that we're all potentially guilty, what's next?
Well, perhaps if we all say what's on our minds, we'll hit on something.
My mind's on a
We know another drink.
Brilliant deduction, my dear Maxwell.
Right.
What about you, Benedict? We don't know what you're thinking.
Oh,
Come on, speak up.
if I were to say what was on my mind, I'm sure no one would agree. I was trained to think in a different era of time than you have. If I were like my heroes with their electronic equipment, I would go back to just before we went to search the island, before Jane was killed. This innocent-seeming thing is a honing device. I could have planted one on each person, and then, with this innocent-seeming pen, I could have listened in on any conversation they might have had. That's what I'd have done. So, when they went to search, ready, go!
Which way is north again?
That way!
Oh, I wish someone would move this body.
Now, to use this innocent-seeming device.
For that peppy feeling, use Blood Pep every morning. It's time to stop being dead.
Wrong channel!
I thought I'd never get you alone.
That's Jane's voice.
I've got the plans, but we better not be seen talking out here, even though stupid authors might suspect something.
But who is she talking to?
Meet me in the living room. I've got the plans hidden away in a book. Oh, no, not here. Save the romance for later. Oh, all right, if you insist.
Those spies were all the same. The living room. That's right here. I better conceal myself and find out who the master spy is.
Come on, hurry up before the others get back.
Where are the plans?
Oh, keep your shirt on, I'm getting them.
Chaotic will pay millions for those. Millions.
Here they are.
Perfect. Every missile site on the eastern seaboard. How did you get them?
The usual way. No one can resist.
The entire eastern seaboard?
In 6 days, I was slowed down in Jacksonville.
Incredible.
But now I want what's coming to me.
And that's exactly what you are going to get.
I want the dough. This is no time to fix your hair with that innocent-seeming comb.
Your usefulness is over, my dear.
Let's go!
Now the plans are all mine. What to do with you? I know. The oven. Those stupid often don't suspect chaos is mixed up in all this. They're too concerned with themselves.
Now, to listen to what he's doing to that poor child.
Good Lord, she's heavy.
He's getting old.
I'm not getting old, just tired. Now, down you go. Open comes the oven door, and on goes the gas.
Now for the showdown. The way I write it, I take the plans and capture Rodney Ductin, Master Spy. Reality isn't so different from imagination after all.
Now, condense these plans into a microdot on film. Oh! Did you find anything in your search of the island?
Drop the act, Rodney. Give me the plans.
Of course. Bradley, Bruce, Benedict.
My name?
Just as soon as I comb my hair.
Don't pull that innocent-seeming comb on me. See? This!
I know that the innocent-seeming cigarette lighter, and I can stop you. Fast enough.
Not the innocent-seeming wristwatch.
That's right, brother.
So you win. But you'll never keep the plans.
Of course I will. They're right here, and they're mine. All mine.
Oh.
Whoa. Good Lord!
That's right, they self-destruct in 5 seconds after touching the chaotic agent.
I should have known. I killed Summers. And Gregory. And Jane. To get those plans, and now they've all gone up in smoke. What are you doing?
Oh, just tying my shoelace.
You think that innocent-seeming shoelace will stop this innocent-seeming wristwatch, do you?
That's what it's made for.
Then take this.
Not the innocent-seeming tie clasps.
That's right.
Oh! This is wrong. All wrong. Chaotic isn't supposed to win.
You didn't write this, brother. This is reality.
Oh, Bradley Bruce Benedict, it isn't a good idea to say what's on your mind. Of course, Rodney may be the murderer. He's old and senile, and his mind may have snapped. Now snap out of it. Every time someone thinks they know who the murderer is, they end up getting killed. I'll just say nothing.
Mr. Benedict. Brad.
Oh, sorry, my mind was wandering.
You were just saying that if you said what was on your mind, we wouldn't agree. What is it?
Oh, it's nothing.
Go on.
Just as I thought.
Of course.
However, I can make a prediction.
Well, go ahead, make it.
Rodney, you're going to be killed next.
No! That's not a very polite thing to say.
But it follows the pattern.
What pattern?
I'd rather not say.
If you know something and you're not telling us, that's cheating! We're supposed to be collaborating.
Oh, here's the first book I ever wrote.
This is no time for narcissism. Why'd you say that I was going to be killed next?
Because you are.
Everyone is wrong about everything tonight.
Thank God for that.
He's dead, of course. Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
A poison gas capsule hidden inside a cutout book. Ingenious. The murderer knew this was a foolproof way of getting Brad.
Why? Any one of us could have opened that book.
No, not that book, honey. That was Brad's first book. Remember Lightning Cube?
Oh God, yes. It was awful.
He improved after that.
The murderer knew no one would dare touch that book except for Brad. And of course he couldn't resist it.
Marvelous, Mildred. Your deductive mind works even when you're not writing. Keep going.
Oh, I can't think of anything with this body in here. And since there are only 2 gentlemen left, I suggest they remove Mr. Benedict.
Where to?
How should I know? With the others?
Well, Jane is in the kitchen. But Summers is upstairs. Yes, quite. Oh, but Gregory's in the pantry. I will put him there. It's closest.
Jim's there.
Well, now things are getting exciting.
I must admit to feeling a trifle nervous.
Rot! We're just getting down to the nitty-gritty of everything. This is where I shine.
I'd just as soon do this in a comfortable lounge challenge on the mainland.
We just have to come back, return to the scene of the crime and all that.
I, for one, want to leave Vulture's vault.
Well, I for two agree with you. How do we go about it?
In those movies where a plane crashes on a deserted island, they always escape by writing a tremendous help in the sand.
Excellent idea.
Thank you. There is one thing wrong with it.
Oh, what?
No sand. The island is completely rock.
Then we'll build a fire.
Good
Out
idea.
of rocks? Weren't you ever a Boy Scout?
No, they ripped off my badge when they found my canteen full of martinis.
There is a time when humor is unwelcome, Mr. Olive, and this is one of those times.
The furniture!
Yeah?
No.
Well, that is a non sequitur. You have indeed succeeded in changing the subject, Rodney.
No, we'll burn the furniture.
Oh.
The smoke will signal help, and we'll write this whole thing out for the TV show.
You should have led with that.
I'll get this chair. Jess, you have any matches?
Yes.
Whitney, can you manage that table?
Oh, I've been under ones that are smaller, but I'll try.
Oh, I must say, I have very
No,
little
please.
faith in this scheme.
Well, what's wrong with it?
It's too simple.
Far, far too simple. If this would really work, everyone in our books would have just used it already.
Maybe we never thought to have anyone think of it.
I'll let you know when I figured it out. Out!
No,
Whitney,
no,
out.
Hurry now.
Come on, Whitney.
Don't dally.
Don't hurt yourself, dear. I know your back is bad.
Good. Now pile them on top of each other.
This
Oh.
table's as heavy as stone. Do you suppose it will burn?
Oh, if the fire gets going, we'll find some marshmallows.
Rodney?
Oh,
What is it?
a big bee stung me.
Oh, I'll make
Let
it
me
bad.
see.
That's okay.
Oh, dear.
Oh, is it bad?
Very.
Oh. Come along now, Rodney. Jessica's made some beautiful mug, and if you don't use it, she'll only put it on her face.
Yes, of course. I'm feeling a trifle woozy.
Of course, but you're a brave boy.
No,
And you're
no,
old.
no, really, I don't feel my
Goodbye, Rodney Ducton. You are one of my favorite authors. Beasting indeed. I use that one in the case of the South American headhunter. I know a blowgun dart when I see it. Dipped in pure air, no doubt, they always are. The unusual weapon. This is right up my lane. Mildred, my girl, go to it. Now, for the surprise ending. The murderer cannot be Jessica, as she was helping Rodney move the chair. It can't be Whitney, as he was piling the table on top of the chair. Therefore, by process of elimination, the murderer is me! How's that for a surprise ending? No, but I didn't do it. I know that. So, if it isn't me, it must be one of the Olives. Intriguing idea, isn't it? Just something I'd come up with. Down to 3 people and one of them guilty. But how would I conclude it? I know! The Olives would come rushing in and announce that Rodney is dead from a blow conduit. Yes, that's how it would begin.
Oh, Mildred, it's Rodney!
What about him?
He's dead!
Oh, it wasn't a bee sting, it was a dart from a blowgun.
The kind of murder you would commit.
Well, what do you know?
Confess to Mildred, then the 3 of us will sit down and write this thing before you give yourself up.
The royalties will be
We'll
astounding.
make sure your next of kin gets your share.
How generous of you.
Thank you.
But you've forgotten one thing.
Oh, that line again.
Yes, you've forgotten that I know I didn't do it. Therefore, it must be one of you.
We forgot about that!
I thought you'd reckon with my deductive mind.
How true!
But why did you do it?
Our stories are tried out. No new idea in ages. They're getting pedantic.
Sloppy!
Predictable. The only way they'll sell is to get rid of the competition.
So we're ridding the world of all mystery riders. One by one.
Quite insane.
Completely and utterly mad.
Oh, I should have known. Well, now there's only one thing left to do, isn't there?
What?
Kill me, of course. Oh, I didn't say that. Oh, you didn't hear me.
Weird.
Me and my big mouth.
Oh, no, it's my
It's not.
It's so.
It's not.
Now you finish that up, I'll go upstairs.
Oh,
Stay where you are.
All right, Whitney. On the count of 3.
Agreed. 1, 2.
Whitney! Oh my goodness! I've been shot! I am just dying everywhere! Oh my gosh! I'm just dying!
How's that for surprise ending? No, but it'd never work in real life, would it? It's stupid and silly, and I'd rip it out of my typewriter and start over. The truth is you can never predict reality. And I'll just have to wait and see, like one of my readers does. They must be about to come back in saying,
Mildred, it's Rodney.
what about it?
He's dead!
Oh, it wasn't a bee sting.
A blowgun dart. I know.
Of course you do. It's your kind of murder.
It may be the murder I think of, but not the kind I'd commit. I'm not the murdering type.
Well, neither are we.
One of you must be, or both. I was thinking just now, and
She's gonna kill us. Watch out.
And
Just watch.
I have an idea!
Oh, give them to her!
Wait until I search
Let
it!
her have it. She can't use your master charge here.
I knew she was a murderer, but I had no idea she was a person.
Aha! I've got it!
Oh, that's
You think you'd fool on hand like me, dear? Ha! Take that!
She's completely crackers.
If you're hungry, there's food in the kitchen.
It's just a lipstick.
Surprise, surprise!
But how did you do it? Where's the blowgun?
We might ask you the same question.
Yes. How did you do it?
Me?
Well, if it wasn't either of us, then it's got to be you.
Either of you? Why not both?
You really think we go around killing people?
Yes.
Why don't you go away somewhere?
Ha! I'm not falling for that line. I'm sitting right here where I can keep my eyes on
And
you.
we're sitting right here where we can do ditto.
How long before one starves to death?
I'd die of thirst long before.
I, for one, am tired of this. There's money to be made out of this situation, and I will make it. I'll break into magazines with this one. Movie rights and serial rights. My biggest moneymaker. I think I'll call it A Night of Horror.
Bro, it isn't over yet.
She's going to finish it in jail.
This damn typewriter won't work.
Oh, Mildred, you are old-fashioned. It's electric.
Oh, thank you.
Go
Where's
right
that?
ahead. Don't let us disturb you.
You seem a little over-anxious for me to start. Ingenious!
What now?
You rigged this typewriter to electrocute me!
Well, really?
You think I'd fall for that with all the ingenious murders all I can
This
get?
has gone too far! Even if it is me, we would never think of something as stupid as that!
Stupid! One of my best murders was the electrocution! Oh, go right ahead!
Whitney,
Yes, darling.
there's a odd chance you didn't happen to rig this, did you?
Jessica.
I'm just checking. And the RTI and I. There you go, Mildred. It's all yours.
Well, it was a good idea.
Use it sometime.
I will. A Night of Horror by Mildred.
No, my gosh!
It was rigged.
Is she dead?
Well, everyone else is. She must be too. Dead as a doornail. Oh, I always hated that line.
The murderer must have knew she would use the typewriter. No one else would type the letter Z.
Well, she short-circuited the typewriter too.
At least she went out writing. It's rather poetic justice.
Oh my God!
What?
Then it's you!
I was just thinking the same thing.
Why
Not
did you
you.
do it?
I did not.
Well, you must have. I didn't.
Well, I know I didn't do it, and I'm the only one here. So again, I know I didn't do it.
You're suffering pangs of remorse.
I'm
That's
not
good for you.
crying because of any pangs.
Then why? from you?
Does 6 murders mean nothing to you? Our whole marriage is over. It was built on a foundation of trust and understanding and mutual faith, but now you've lied to me.
I could say the same of you.
No, you can't. I'm innocent.
Well, so am I.
I don't believe you.
Look at me. Look at this face. This handsome, handsome face.
I always like that face, even the peculiar parts of it.
What peculiar parts?
Well, your nose isn't quite what it should be, and one of your eyes is a little
What?
different from the other.
I like that. After all these years, I never complained about you through every one of your hair colors.
I was only trying to please you.
Look, you've always known when I was lying. Now, look at me. I didn't commit those beastly murders.
Oh, I believe you. Oh, wait, I believe you.
Now tell me one thing.
What?
Why did you commit them?
I didn't. I swear on our next royalty check.
Honestly?
Yes. Cross my heart and hope to. No, I didn't say that. I didn't. You did not hear me say that.
But if it wasn't either of us, and we're surrounded by dead people, we finally come across the perfect crime.
I always said it could be committed.
We should celebrate.
So why?
Excellent idea.
I do feel rather foolish having suspected you, darling.
Oh, think nothing of it. I suspected you.
What are we supposed to do until the lunch comes? Just sit here drinking?
You'll be delightfully tipsy.
Oh, I don't know how I'm supposed to have a happy outlook on our work after tonight.
Well, this should help.
Oh, it's bound to.
To our greatest mystery, yet to be solved.
Cheers. Oh, disgusting! Oh my God, that wasn't a good month at all.
Oh, it wasn't even a good week.
Oh, was this made of grapes or onions?
Oh, bitter and acrid. That's what this tastes like. Where have I heard that before?
You said in the poisoned corpse the wine was bitter and acrid.
You're right. The wine was bitter and acrid. Jess, the murderer knew we drink this.
Damn it!
No! Well, at least we're going together.
It's not that. We don't know who did it.
That is rather upsetting.
It's like turning to the end of a mystery book and it's saying, oh, guess who?
Well, maybe we'll find out in the great library in the sky.
Do you suppose all our books will be there?
All bound in gold leaf.
And we'll get the Times every Sunday and be at the top of the bestsellers.
Heavenly.
Exactly.
Oh, but I can't wait. I want to know who it is now.
Oh, so do I, darling.
Oh, it's wet.
Oh.
What's that?
Someone's coming. Oh, when it's happening, we're getting our last wish.
I'm too tired to turn my head.
Will you stop dragging your feet and hurry up?
No. No.
Here I am.
It's Jason Summers.
Oh, what a bore.
Don't you like it?
It's been done to death. The first one killed is the murderer.
But I was sure you were dead when we carried you upstairs.
I was.
I love science.
Jason Summers is dead, but I am Grady Summers.
Oh, this is even worse. This twin brother.
Dirty fool! Such dirty fool!
I shall have done it. The perfect crime.
Oh, but why?
My brother Jason always had everything. I had nothing.
Oh, I hate speeches like this.
They're always long and boring and over-explanatory.
Hear me out.
No.
Jason told me of his plan to bring you here and how to come up with the greatest murder script in history.
I know! You decided to do one better.
So you committed all those real murders.
Well, how did you know?
Oh, we write these things.
We used to write these things. Oh, really, I can't take any more of this. I'm going right now.
But it's my right to say something if whoever gets to tell how he did it step by step.
Not this time, old sport. Sorry to leave you, but that's just the way the ball bounces.
Oh, but I have so much to say. Wait, no, don't die. My murders. I made history tonight. I've committed the ultimate in crime. This is the perfect mystery. Yes!
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, it doesn't have a punch at the end. Ugh.
Rewrites! It needs tremendous rewrites.
I thought
Less
we could
wet
excellent.
rewrites.
You don't know anything about anything, Mr. Summers. We are the experts.
The suspense is terrific.
Oh.
Oh, but the characters aren't any good.
You can't combine all this money into one coherent work and expect it to work.
I heard everything from backstage.
Perhaps if we brought Jack Clubb in after
Oh, yes,
Oh no, Jack Clubb is out. He was good in his time, but
Perhaps
now-
if we made him a man from the CIA.
No, Brad.
People are tired of that, aren't you?
Oh, Brad, you darling, they still think we're on an island.
You don't, do you?
Of course they do. We told them we were moving from the studio to the island, closed the curtain, opened it back up again, so naturally they thought we were on the island.
Just because we said so.
Of course.
What a fabulous group you are. A trifle gullible, but fabulous.
Yes.
Very bright. If we work any longer, we'll have to get overtime, the union says.
I am well aware of the union. I'll write you out a check immediately.
Were you pleased with our work?
Oh, you were wonderful, darling.
Oh, when you guys finished writing the script, we auditioned for our parts.
Of course.
Oh, we won't pay above scale. Sorry.
I'll have to speak with my agent.
We don't want to keep the audience here any longer, do we?
Of course not, they'd be bored with the rewrites.
Thank you all very much for coming. Your reactions have been a tremendous help. You see, before we came here tonight, we all met at that little restaurant across the way and decided that this would be the thing to do. Pretend we were really on the island. Even Jason Summers liked the idea, and he turned in a reasonably good performance.
I used to do a little community theater work.
Oh, too modest.
Well, do you think we've given them their money's worth?
Of course, darling. 8 murders, I mean, what do they expect World War III?
So go home now and enjoy your night. Murder is only in books and stories. It can't happen here.
Of course